Hello people, how y'all doing? The moon, with the numbers that they provide for you, totally, completely destroy the heliocentric model of the universe. Let's start at the beginning with some numbers. First of all, they tell you that the Earth is tilted at 23.4 degrees. You take 23.4 degrees off 90-degree vertical, and you end up with 66.6. They tell you that while the Earth is tilted on its axis, that it rotates on this axis at 1,040 miles an hour at the 24,901 circumference equator. They tell you at the same time the moon is on the average of 235,000 miles away from the Earth, with an orbital speed and an elliptical orbital speed of 2,288 miles an hour. Constant. These speeds are constant. They tell you here's two more 666 speeds. They tell you the Earth orbits the Sun at 66,600 miles an hour. And they tell you the Sun orbits the galactic center of the Milky Way at 666,000 miles an hour. And they tell you the Milky Way shoots through the infinite all at over 1.2 million miles an hour. Now let's get to the moon. I've observed the moon and I've filmed the moon hundreds and hundreds of hours. Same with the sun. I've got video of the moon coming into view. A moonrise, a complete moonrise, where there's no moon at all, and then you see it coming into view. And then I've got it completely throughout the day and leaving view. From its grand entrance to its great escape. And it don't go overhead and around. It comes at you and leaves. But if the moon had an orbital speed around the Earth at 2,288 miles an hour that they are proclaiming, and the Earth is rotating on its axis at 1,040 miles an hour at the equator, them are two constant speeds. The moon would have to be in the sky for the same amount of time every night, because it's circling the Earth supposedly at 2,288 miles an hour. At the same time, the Earth is supposedly rotating on its axis at 1,040 miles an hour. Yeah, you can go to time and date, and you can observe the reality that they're showing you, because they don't want to lie on time and date, because they want you to be able to study this shit. And you can find times when the moon is in the sky for over 14 hours. And you can find the time when the moon is in the sky for only 10 hours. Now, if all these speeds were constant, regardless of the tilt, regardless of the elliptical, it's so far away, it would be in the sky the same amount of time. Because everything's consistent. The speeds and the rotations and the orbits. It's all consistent. Now, how does the moon, if gravity, your God gravity, is the holder of all this shit together, how does it have a mind of its own? How does the moon not get sucked into the sun when the moon goes between the earth and the sun? The God gravity, that the sun's gravity that's holding the earth in place lessens as the moon traverses between the sun and the earth, and then increases again, so that the earth, as soon as the moon's out from in front of the earth don't fucking bounce out of its orbit. You're a bunch of idiots to continue at this point in time to believe a goddamn thing that you learned in the school system. I mean, you got your basic math and they taught you how to talk, but in their science classes, you can throw all that shit away. There's absolutely no proof of a dinosaur other than the dinosaur hunters that the government funded. Of course they're going to go find bones. They're getting paid to do it. Have you ever found a dinosaur bone? No. Let's get back to the solar system. To steal your solar system. To keep you locked here in this realm so they can continue to siphon your power, your energy, your life force. You pay 80% in your taxes, whether you know it or not. You think it's only 20 on the income tax, but think of your house tax, your food tax, your fucking water tax, soon to be air tax. You people don't get it. They're stealing your solar system, your soul, by this solar system. You're not a system. Mortals are here to cycle, but they have you locked in system. How does the moon speed up and slow down? How does the earth speed up and slow down? Because if you don't speed up and slow down traveling around a moving object, if you're going to travel around a moving object, something that's moving, you have to speed up and slow down to go around that object. Try to go around a big truck in the middle of the lane on a 3-lane highway. Go out in front of it, get it over, and fall back behind it without speeding up and slowing down. You are a sad lot. You truly are. Zero common sense, zero reason, zero logic, zero critical thought. Just 100% indoctrination and refusal to open up your eyes and observe reality and critically think about anything. When I'm showing you them pictures of the sun in that even blanket of haze, if the sun was really 93 million miles away, that whole haze would just be lit up the same and you wouldn't have that concentrated hot spot of where the sun is. When that sun's coming at us in the morning on the last morning rise video, if it were truly 93 million miles away, there wouldn't be just a central hot spot right there in them clouds where the sun is. That sun is very local to the clouds. But you'd rather just come at me like I'm some kind of fucking idiot. Present some of the shit you've done. Some of the things you've built. You tell me that if you're on a ball and you built a city on this ball, that in 20 miles, the tops of the building on a panoramic view, which there are plenty of, would be no detectable slope going out when the curvature, according to the Pythagorean theorem of geometry and spheres and Euclidean geometry, for the Earth to be a spinning ball, very accurate until you get out past the fucking halfway mark. The 45 degrees of that, it's highly accurate. It's only past 45 where the drop begins to increase a lot, but you're never going to go out that far anyway because you can't go that far away from yourself and your observation. Them buildings would most definitely, in a 20-mile span, have a noticeable tilt out. And it would only be the ones that were directly in front of the camera that would appear vertical. And as they were going further and further, you would see them buildings tilting more and more. With the technology we have today and the cameras that we have today, the photographic technology, why hasn't NASA taken a picture of the buildings laying on their side around the equator and the big cities on the equator compared to those in the northern part of the plane? Because they can't do it. And fuckers got a fucking aeroplane from the International Fake Station. I did a video about it. They were able to capture an aeroplane flying over the ocean somewhere. I can't remember right off the top of my head. Maybe I'll put the link in it for you to make fun of me some more. Regardless, if they can shoot the picture of that airplane from 200 or the numbers, however high they are in that International Fake Station right now, I'm drawing a blank on it. I got so many numbers in my head from this spinning ball bullshit and the research I've done on it. I didn't just wake up one day and decide, hey, I'm going to become a flat earther today. No. I woke up because I tried to quench the flat earth. Jugal and JewTube wouldn't keep it out of my feed. I wouldn't even touch it for 6 months. I thought it was so ludicrous and fucking stupid. And it was my wholehearted intention was to blow the fucking flat earth out of the water. But what it did is it opened up my mind to critical thought and reason and logic. The numbers don't work. They give you numbers so intensely vigorous that you can't even comprehend them. 433 light years to Polaris, 93 million miles to the sun. Sun just happens to be 400 times farther away than the moon and 400 times bigger, so they appear the same size in the sky. Excuse me, I got a cold. And you don't get it. You just don't get it. You'd rather come at me and tell me how stupid I am without any proof whatsoever of what you're saying. I've done the research, boys and girls, wholeheartedly. In fact, I was leaning prejudiciously towards the ball when I started this venture. And after gathering so much information and data and compiling it together and removing all of my prejudice and my biasness and letting the data and the evidences and the experiments produce the conclusion. There's only one conclusion. The Earth ain't no spinning fucking ball. Plain and simple. Earth is a plane and it's motionless. There's no way on this Earth that if it was spinning and hurtling through the infinite universe at over 2 million miles an hour with all them combined speeds that they give you, that you would maintain cosmic order night after night, year after year, millennium after millennium. In June, your darkness would be over there. You'd be looking at the night sky over there. In January, you'd be looking at the night sky over there. In January, the sun's distance to the moon is only 91 million miles an hour, yet you're freezing your ass off. And in June, it's 95 million miles, and you're sweating your balls off. Kiss my ass. Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. You can't do it. So bring on your ignorant comments. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid to fucking carry on with this $5,000 bet to go measure the water line at high tide. It ain't just fucking running your mouth and telling me I proved it's a ball, I proved it's spinning. No. We get together, we do our handshake, we show our escrow account, and we go out and we stake the high tide on any beach. We can do it on any lake. But we get a little wet there, so you just do the high tide line. You take where the waves wash up their highest to where they're settling back, and you go in between there. And that's the actual water line. But none of you will do it. Not Sly Sparkane, not Red's Rhetoric, not Wolfie 6020, not G Sapien, not Soundly, not Sean Hawkins, not Huford, not a one of you jockstraps, ball supporters, jockstraps. Ballless, ball-sucking bitch boy, ball-foon, ball babies will take me up on the offer. Why is that? I'll tell you 2 reasons. Reality will be presented because you have a large following, and a lot of people will find out real fast, and you don't want to lose the $5,000. You can set that instrument up at 4 foot, and in the first fucking meter, or 50 meters, excuse me, you better have a ½ inch of drop or so. I haven't truly calculated exactly what it would be every meter out there, but that's because none of you will take me up on it. Over 1 mile, you better have 8 inches of drop from the start point, and you just record all of the measurements all the way down. Setting up at 4 foot is a comfortable shooting elevation to the engineer rule. Set your instrument up, your builder's level instrument, whatever, theodolite, flat and level and zeroed out at 4 foot. But none of you will do it. Why is that? You're afraid your reality will be strucken? I ain't afraid. My reality was strucken a long time ago when I tried to prove the spinning ball Earth. That's when my reality got fucking destroyed, because I was pretty happy and content living on the spinning ball Earth, other than the hand in the boot in your throat the government puts upon us. And that's what my YouTube channel was about originally. I wasn't a flat earther. I was an anti-government antagonist. Trying to get you guys to wake up and quit funding this fucking illegitimate government. The flat earth only made me madder about it because of all of the deception and all of the bullshit that you're all buying into. You're paying for it. You're paying for your own goddamn demise. Anyway, I'm done talking. You guys figure it out. Be well, my friends. Learn to think, jockstraps.